All right. I want to welcome you guys back to another edition of Dirty Talk. I am your host, Dirty Cuttz, and I'm here with the legendary Tom Brown, Coach Tom Brown.
How you doing this
How you
evening?
doing, sir?
I'm doing good, Coach. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm
Good,
good. I'm
good.
good, man. Feeling great on this good Monday afternoon, man.
Beautiful day outside in Winston-Salem. Sun shining bright. People walking around enjoying themselves.
I
What a
know.
day.
I know
Lovely
that's
day.
right. I know
Yes,
that's
sir.
right. Well, let's go ahead and get on to the nitty gritty of the things.
Okay.
Um, what brings you to Dirty Talk podcast today?
Well, Ricardo, I'm here today trying to solicit young men and young ladies, moms and dads, to come and be a part of a wonderful organization called the Youth Character Football League, short YCFL, sponsored by Union Baptist Church, where Dr. Sir Walter Mack is our senior pastor, our spiritual leader, our teacher,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm the director of YCFL, the football program there.
Okay, all right, great. Now explain to me how the football league is set up. Um,
The league that we play in,
yes, sir.
okay, we're a part of the Central Carolina Youth Athletic League. There's 12 teams that play in our league. Um, from all around the state of North Carolina. We're the only team in Winston-Salem that's a part of that league. We play on Saturday afternoons.
Okay,
It's an unlimited weight league, and the 4 years, 5 years that we've been a part of it, it's been a wonderful experience for our organization. It's good to be a part of a league that gives our kids an opportunity to play against kids from other parts of the state of North Carolina versus playing homegrown kids here.
I got
hmm
you. And what's the age range?
We start at 6
Mhm.
and go to 12. If you sign a waiver, we can start your child at 4 years old. But you have to sign a waiver that allows him to play at 4. My grandson, he started at 4, and he's turned into quite a football player.
All right, all right. Now, do y'all have anything going on right now?
Actually, we have spring training going on. We started the second week in April,
Okay.
and we practice at the Winston Prep School at 14th and Cameron Street.
That's the old Atkins
The
right there.
old Atkins School, that's
Okay.
exactly right. We come around to the back of it, and you'll see our storage trailers there and all of our football apparatus, the blocking sleds, tackling sleds. And if you catch us on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, between the hours of 6 and 8, you'll find all the coaches, myself, and our staff out there ready to sign your child up to play with YCFL football. Yeah.
All right, all right, all right. That's what's going. That's what's up. That's what's up. So I want a little bit of history on you, man. A little background. What? When did you start playing football and have the love for it? And all that
Actually,
good
Coach,
stuff.
I'm a dinosaur. I call myself a dinosaur. I started playing football 1966.
66.
1966.
Woo.
I tell people all the time, I've been on the sideline, either coaching or an administrator with football since 1966. High school, college. I moved to Winston-Salem in 1975, and I became coach for the Tiny Indians when we were over at the Boys Club on Martin Luther King Boulevard.
Okay.
And I moved up from coach of the defensive coach with the junior peewees with a good friend of mine, Ike Howard, and I moved into the head coaching job of the midgets. I won the first Satoma Bowl championship that the Tiny Indian midget team had won.
Oh, wow.
And from there, I went on to be the commissioner of all of Pop Warner football in the city of Winston-Salem. I was named by R.J. Reynolds Sports Marketing, along with Coach Odoms from Wake Forest and Coach Poe at Carver High School.
Shout out to Coach Poe.
Yeah,
He
Coach
just
Poe, Coach
celebrated
Odoms,
a
yeah.
birthday recently, I think.
Yeah, we were named coaches of the year in our perspective areas, college, high school, and I was the coach of the year for Little League sports in this city, selected by R.J. Reynolds Sports Marketing.
Wow, that's big. That's big.
I was the president of the Tiny Indians. I was the president of the Winston-Salem Bulldogs. I retired for a little while. I got a telephone call one day from Dr. Mack's sister, and I wouldn't answer the telephone. And she kept calling. Finally, I was convinced that I needed to talk to her. And when I called her, she told me that her brother wanted to speak with me. I set up an appointment. I went over to the church. I sat down and I spoke with him. And he made me an offer I couldn't refuse, and that was simply to work with children again. And that's something that I love to do. Been doing it for many years, and I just enjoy it. So that's how I got to be, as you guys call me, a legend in this city. I've been here so long,
So I
and
mean,
I've done it so long.
and you done seen all the greats come and go through there.
Yes, at one time, I had coached 9 of the Forsyth County Players of the Year in this
So
city.
let me ask you something. You never thought about coaching high school?
No, sir. No,
Why
sir.
is that? What's your take on that?
I always believed that, and my philosophy is I wanted to get to the kids before they became prima donnas.
Oh Lord!
Once they get in high school, they know it all. They're the best linebacker, best running back. Whereas
so you like to get them
when they're pure,
get them fundamentals.
The fundamentals. And if you ever come to one of our coaching sessions or our practices, you'll find that I drill my coaches and I drill our players in fundamentals. You can't play the game of football unless you know fundamentals, because it's a simple game. It's simply blocking and tackling. But you have to have the fundamentals to play the game.
Right. Gotcha. Let me ask you something. How can you tell a good player from a bad player? What is your take on that, and how do you handle situations like that?
Well, the only way that you can tell a good ball player at the little league age is his concentration on his trade. If he's a running back, he's like a sponge. If he's like a sponge and absorbs all your coaching techniques and he tries every day, he gets there on time for practice. When you ask him to do something, he does it. If he has a question, he'll ask you. That shows very early on in a kid's career playing. I'll give you a quick story. I had one of the local ball players, in fact, 2 of the local ball players here, Malcolm Marshall. He played for me at the Tiny Indians, and I had Malcolm playing as a center. And Malcolm and his dad, Brother Walter Marshall, they kept saying that Malcolm wanted to run the football. I kept telling Malcolm, Malcolm, you're not good enough to be no running back. I got you playing the center. That's where you're going to play. Well, long and behold, Malcolm went to East Forsyth High School, and the rest is history. He left East Forsyth, went to North Carolina, became an excellent running back, and from there he went on to be an NFL player with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Wow.
So at the age that I had him as his coach, I didn't see the running back potential based on the kids that we had in camp playing that year. Then there was Tikus Pettigrew. Tikus played at West Forsyth. But when he played for me, we had him at offensive tackle. And he cried every day about being a tackle on our football team. But I kept him there, and he did a good job for us. But when he left Little League football, went out to West Forsyth, He became
The prettiest receiver ever.
one of the best receivers and defensive backs that there were.
Yeah.
And he was went up to Penn State University, and Coach Paterno turned him into a great football player. He was an excellent player, and I think he's in the financial world now, but he lives in a city up north, and I'm not really sure where he's at. But now,
Okay.
I'd like to see him. He was a wonderful young man.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Yep.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. So seen a lot of rich history come and go through here. And just last night we were at an event in the hood, and things went well until the night fell. And I believe at the fairgrounds they was having some fireworks going on, but those weren't fireworks we heard, and wound up six young men got shot last night. What is your take on that? About the crime that's going on here in Winston and these young guys just being reckless about their frustrations and stuff like that.
Well,
What is your take on that?
Coach, what I'm seeing as an older gentleman who's been in athletics all of my life, here in Winston-Salem, I tell people all the time, you can take the moment that they took middle school football and sports out of the Winston-Salem Forsyth County school system, the moment that they took that away from our kids in this city, then the trouble began. You've heard me many times speak about the thief in the night. And I tell people all the time, if you don't nurture your child, if you don't put your child in a good environment, the thief in the night will come and take your child away. They will turn them into drug addicts. They will turn them into drug pushers. They will turn them into prostitutes. They'll turn them into thieves. And when they get finished with them, they'll send them back home to their parents to be buried or to get them out of jail or to go visit them in prison. So what we have to do in our community, we have to take a program such as ours and not only incorporate football, but we also need, as we do, teach and talk about character. The economic situation that a lot of our kids grow up in leads to the frustration and anger. I mean, you see on television every night Lexuses, you see Cadillacs, you see people going to exotic places, but you can't leave the city of Winston-Salem because economically you don't have what is required. So frustration begins to build. But I honestly believe that if they put middle school sports back into our school system here in Winston-Salem, that we will reverse this trend of the younger people getting in trouble shooting. For instance, if a kid is at practice Monday, Wednesday, Friday, he plays on Saturday, or he plays Friday night, he's required to do good schoolwork and keep up his grades. That's an incentive to go on further.
Right.
Right now, they don't have that. They go to school every day. When they come home from school, there's nothing for them to do. The rec centers, Little League football teams, the coaches, that age group, that 13-year-old age group, from there to 2021, there's nothing in this city for them to do. So we've got to build a better educational system for these kids, and I think it's done through sports.
Gotcha. What do you think about? I know we're on football, but I wanna give a little take on. And I know that you're an athletic guy. Always have been. What about the baseball situation here in Winston? I think it's really offset, especially in our community.
Well, that's a marvelous question you asked. I coached baseball for 2 years here in Winston, but again, it's all gone now. The old timers that taught baseball, most of them have passed on, and there's no young man to come in and say, okay, I want to teach baseball. We have a wonderful baseball field over on Waterworks Road in 311, but the kids don't use it because there's no coach to coach the game. If you look in the major leagues, there are very few black players in major league. Now most of the players in the major leagues are either Hispanic guys or from South America, or they're the white fellows who play baseball in college. But we've literally abandoned the sport of baseball. It's either basketball or football. We don't play hockey, very few hockey players, very few lacrosse players. Um, Blacks, very few wrestlers. All of that starts in middle school. If we had middle school sports, that's where they learn those
Right.
fundamentals, those sports. We don't have any of that here.
Diversifying their palette
Yeah.
in
So
athletics.
yes, I'm a firm believer in athletics. When I was in high school, elementary school, I played the game. I wrestled. I threw the shot put and the discus on the track
Yeah.
team. I wrestled. Played football. Dibbled in basketball, but football was my love, so I left basketball alone. And I love to wrestle. Uh, we need that. That's what we need. There was a time when African American men, when they got in trouble, um, they would go to court and the lawyers would talk to the judge in closed quarters. Next thing you know, they came out and they went into the service. And there they learned a trade. We don't have trades anymore for our kids to learn. Some kids drive a car, they don't know where the stick is to check their oil. They don't know how to change the air pressure. So much has been taken away from us through our schools, and we need to get that back. Yeah.
How important is it to for the parents just to be involved? I'm taking it back to the little league, the football little league. How important is the parents to be involved with their kids in just their development period?
Well, you've heard me say earlier this year in our spring training that I would love to see the parents come out every day when we have practice. Bring your lawn chairs, your tablets, your cell phones, your whatever you have, your electronic devices. Sit there and watch what we do with your child and watch how we develop them. The problem is, and this has been an ongoing problem since I've been coaching Little League sports, our parents, and I'm speaking directly about African American parents, for some reason, we want to use Little League sports practice as a 2 hour babysitting service while you drop your kid off and you come back and you get them. The only time we see some parents is when a kid goes home, tells his mom that a coach grabbed him or spoke harshly to him, and then they want to come with the child's version of what happened and tell you that you can't be talking to their child any kind of way. Whereas if they sat out there and watched what we do every day, they would see their child change before their eyes. Um, these young men and our cheerleaders, the young ladies, they need role models. And parents and volunteers need to come out and be a part of their children's lives. As you heard me say in practice, um, what better way You get up in the morning at 7:30, and your child leaves, and he may leave earlier to catch the bus. You go off to work or whatever you do during the day. You don't see your child for 8 hours. Then they come home, uh, they do their homework, and then they're gone for 2 hours for practice. So that's 8 hours on top of football practice. That's 10 hours. When they get home, they're in their room on their cell phones or on their tablets. You're on your cell phone on your tablet. There's no interaction. Next thing you know, it's time to go to bed, and we repeat that same cycle every day. Whereas as a parent, if you come to practice and just be there, you don't have to participate in what we're doing. Just watch the coaches develop your child and change their character, change the way they they look at themselves, and see the pride start to develop in them. But for some reason, African American parents, and I have to say it because I see it every day and I've seen it for 40 years, they just will not come and participate with their children. On Saturday afternoons, coaches bring kids to football games. They take them home from football games. You never see the parents. How can that be? How can that be? Uh, I think that's a problem. Um, Parents have to be a part of a child's development. And so that's what we're looking for in the Youth Character Football League this year. We're looking for parents to not only bring their children to our practices and to our organization, but we have a lot of work to do. We have spiritual work that they can do. Um, Become a member of Union Baptist Church, and you don't have to be a member. You can just come and hear excellent preaching on Sunday mornings, an excellent service. We have, if I'm not mistaken, we have 72 ministries in our church. So there's something there for you. We have singles ministry, we have men's ministry, we have seniors ministry, we have youth ministry. There's just so many things that you can do. Um, Going back to my saying, the thief in the night doesn't have to get to you. We have so much to offer.
Well, they say what the idle mind is the devil workshop.
It's the devil's workshop, exactly. And again, it's not a requirement that you're a member of our church, but I honestly believe that if you come and be a part of YCFL, I think once you become a part of that and see all the things that we do with your children, it will spark an interest in you to see what else goes on at Union Baptist Church. And if you ever come there, I think you'll find that there's something there for you to do if you want to do it. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha. Now, is there anything that you want to tell the people about the program? You know.
Well, we started in 2009. The program is the brainchild of Dr. Mack. He saw a need for kids who were overweight to be able to play sports, and so he developed the structure for the Youth Character Football League. At one time, we were the only organization in the city, pretty much in the state, that had unlimited weight.
And really, I don't mean to cut you off, but unlimited, it actually prepares them for high school.
It actually
because
does.
High school, you're unlimited.
That's exactly right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Exactly.
And then a lot of the southern states, they still have middle school ball,
Yes.
where it didn't matter what weight they were. You know,
Yeah.
the boys learned to play the game.
Yeah. Just yesterday, we were the Central Carolina Youth Athletic League. We had one of our preseason meetings, and I suggested 13U football, and the other cities the teams that we play against, they have middle school ball. It's hard for them to field a 13-year-old team because those kids are playing in as JVs.
Gotcha.
So that was shot down, but yeah, there's a need for it. To Again, we start losing them at 13, 12, 13 years old. We start losing them. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, I like that ring you got there.
Oh yeah, this
Um,
is our the ring I'm wearing here is our Division One championship ring from Central Carolina Youth Athletic League. This is what the kids who win the championship. This is what they're given, and the one that you're wearing is what we give our kids every year. We give them a ring for participating with us in the Youth
and the
Character
coaches.
Football League, and the coaches get one. That's something that I put in place when I took over as the YCFL director. Trophies are nice, but I wanted to elevate the program to a better status. So we went with rings. Dr. Mack approved it, and so each year now, the one that you're wearing is the second one that we had. We've been down, as you know, for 2 years because of the COVID. So I'll be working this year on designing another ring for this year's team, and hopefully we'll be wearing one of these championship rings this year also. Competition's awful tough
I
out there
know that's
right
right.
now. Yes.
Now you guys are is the YCFL accepting any sponsorships or anything like that?
Yes.
Advertisements.
Yes. If you would like to sponsor a child or if you'd like to sponsor a team, the fee for playing with YCFL is $150. We have a tax ID number, and we will give you credit for that. Um, but I would prefer you not just be a sponsor. Your money is good, but we want some of your time, especially
Resources.
African American men. I like to see them out on our football field. I like, instead of having teen moms, I like to have teen dads. The
Gotcha.
boys need to see positive male role models. That's what we need. And if you'd like to become a part of that, just give me a call at 336 My email address is djtom51@gmail.com. And you can reach me any time of day or night. When it comes down to those kids, I don't have a time to sleep. Whatever it takes to make our program successful, I'm willing to do it. Yeah.
That's what's up. Anything for the kids.
Yes. Yes.
The kids. Okay. Um, I just want to give a shout out to OG Brand Company. We're being sponsored by them. Also, want to give a shout out to BanditoUSA.com. Also, Chris Beats, Copper Beat. Y'all need to get on. Also, come and see me at I'm at 501 North Liberty Street, and that's Umi African Hair Braid, and I have a sweet in the back if you'd like to get a fresh haircut.
Coach, one thing before we go, please. I forgot
Yes,
to
go ahead.
I
Go ahead.
forgot to mention we have an academic award for the kids that participate in YCFL football.
Okay. Let's talk about that.
If when I first took over, there was a piece in the plans that we have a huddle and we talk about academics and all. But I elevated it a little bit more. I went to Dr. Mack and we developed a academic award. If the kids during football season, if they receive A's, B's, and C's in school on the report card, we get a photocopy of that report card, and then on banquet night, when we give them their rings and their dinner for participating, and here are the speakers that we bring in, then we also award them with an academic award. It's a nice
That's
trophy.
what's up.
I forgot to bring it with me tonight, but it's a beautiful award. We have some kids that have been in the program for 3 years. They've gotten 3 of those awards. Every year they get one for academic excellence. Because at the end of the day, once your playing days are over, you got to have an education to survive. And so that's our incentive. The last year that we played, out of 75 kids, we gave out 63 academic awards.
Wow.
And the ones that did not get the awards, they missed it by a grade point or two. So I think that's an excellent response to what they
Getting
call
them.
a student athlete.
Yeah, right.
That first semester, they're just getting back to school from summer vacation, but they understand when we talk to them about academics, they go and they perform. And
Just
that's, of everything that I do out there with the kids, that's the most heartwarming thing at the end of the year, is to give them that academic award, because that tells me they bought into what we've been talking to them about.
Right.
Getting an education.
Getting it all.
And
Being an all around
right.
student.
And
So
we
good.
have excellent, we have kids who have gone on to play at Clemson University, North Carolina Central, North Carolina State, Winston-Salem State University. We have an excellent program, and we just like, our arms are open to anybody who wants to be a part of it.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Also, one thing I want to ask you. I know we had started it before, and when I say we, I say YCFL program, because I am a part of it.
Yeah.
I know we were doing the Fridays where we feed the kids. Are we going to continue that this year, or is that going to keep going?
Well, I'm hoping that we can start that program back up again. I always, whenever I go to the church and ask them to do something for YCFL, I always preface it with the fact that I try to be a good steward of the church's money, and so if it becomes feasible for us to do that, then yes, we will. We will do something. If we don't do anything but have the men's ministry come out and do hot dogs and hamburgers, bag of chips and a soda or a drink, I think that would be excellent for us. Yeah, so that's not off the board. We're also looking at a community day where we'll bring folks from around the city in and have them there at the field and talk to our kids and just be a family for an afternoon. Yeah, so that's what we're looking at.
Gotcha. And we're looking for the sponsorships, man. These kids really need sponsorships.
Yes.
So
As you know, Coach, we have kids out there that don't have football shoes. We have to go in our storage facility, let them use shoes because they don't have them.
I remember some of the things that I went through as a head coach as a 10-year-old, where we went through that, where some of the kids didn't even have a matching pair of socks, or they haven't eaten since they was in school the day before.
On Friday afternoon, exactly right. Yes.
I thought that was just horrible, man. So
One of the
I'm
things,
really an advocate and being there for these kids. Go ahead.
one of the things that I like to see, we have athletes at Winston-Salem State. We have athletes at Wake Forest University. We have athletes who have graduated from the various colleges. Come out and be a big brother to these little kids. You don't have to spend a lot of money and a lot of time with them. Just come out, learn their name, talk to them, sit down on the ground with them, and just listen to them and watch them. Just watch how they just absorb what you talk to them about. And
especially them brothers from the purple and gold.
Yeah.
Them Omega Sign fans.
Yeah.
Because we all purple and gold.
I hear you.
Purple and gold. Well,
Yeah.
I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know.
I hear you. Yeah. But that's one of the things that I think would just be awesome if we had young men to just come out and, okay, Coach, I don't have but 2 hours this week. we'll sign you a kid. You talk to that kid, learn how he lives every day, find out what his ambitions are. If talk to his mom and dad. Maybe they want to let you take them out to the movies or take them to lunch, or just sit out on the front porch and lean up against your car and just talk man to man with them. So many of our kids grow up in single parent homes, and single parent is the mother. And God knows, mothers do a wonderful job with these kids,
Mm.
but they need to hear that strong voice of a male. And so I'm looking for volunteers to be committed. I'll say this: don't come out there if you're not committed, because the worst thing you can do is come out there, a kid take a liking to you, and then all of a sudden you just walk away from him or whatever. Too many people have walked away from him already. Yeah, so uh, you don't want to do that. One of the greatest joys that I find on a daily basis as I ride around the city of Winston-Salem, I may be at a red light, and most people who know me, I love music, and I'm playing my music in my car, and I hear somebody, Coach Brown, Coach Brown, Coach Brown, and I look, and it's one of the babies hanging out the window waving at me, and man, that just makes your heart just
Yeah,
explode
man.
with joy and pride. Yep.
One day reminisce over you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you heard it first from the legendary Tom Brown. I want to thank all of y'all. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but y'all here with us on this lovely day. Peace, love, and happiness.